Are you guys enjoying your bye week or is it just me, man? Look at me. Look at me. Chilling here down in the studio, hanging out. I got no Broncos gear on. I'm relaxed. My blood pressure is low. I'm actually really loving this bye week, guys, but I'm also ready for some Broncos football next week. The Broncos are getting ready to take on the Colts and they might be taking on the Indianapolis Colts without a key starter in Riley Moss like we had seen how important his overall contribution to this defense is last week. We witnessed it firsthand. I want to dig into somebody that I think, if needed, could step in and be a huge role in the biggest Broncos game since Super Bowl 50. We will dive into the film and we'll talk about it a little bit as well. Before that, guys, if you love the Denver Broncos or all Denver sports in general, I would love it and I would very much appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button you see below you, like the video, join the community, man. We're having a great time. And if you do that, I appreciate it. Tell a friend, have a friend, tell a friend, because I am so close to my goal of 500 subscribers. And I appreciate it in advance. Thank you all. All right. Well, let's get into it, guys. The Broncos really felt the lack of Riley Moss's presence last week. Let's face it. And a big reason of that is because Levi Wallace took his uh, place, and Levi Wallace had what is, in my opinion, probably the worst cornerback performance in a game that I've ever seen. At least I've witnessed in a very very long time. It was weird because I knew that he would have his moments where he struggled, but not like that. Especially because he's kind of he's a very experienced vet. He's gotten a lot of um, reps under his belt, but not just that. He's done so with some very very good defensive mind, well-respected defensive-minded coaches, guys like, Mike Tomlin and Sean McDermott, and now he was with Vance Joseph, and in the limited snaps that he's had all year, he's looked like he was pretty good, but he wasn't done many favors. But my God, he looked like he was 10 steps slower than everyone else in the field. So towards the end of the game, you had seen Chris Abrams-Drain was the guy that came in. Fifth round pick this year was somebody that I think we were really, really, really excited about. I know that I was when I started looking into him a lot more coming out of Mizzou. Really good player, tough player. He's got versatility of playing inside and outside. So I was always curious. It looks like the Broncos have looked like they want to play him on the outside. And so I decided, you know what? It wasn't a lot of film. It wasn't a lot of different clips to be able to um, look over. But in the limited amount of snaps that he had and the one-on-one man coverage that situations that they put him in, I thought he was actually pretty impressive. And I definitely want to see more of him. I want to see more of Damari Mathis if needed in this huge game that's coming up. The Colts don't scare you as much passing the football, in my opinion, as the Browns do, right? Because Jameis Winston, you never really know what you're going to get. But the Colts do because of Anthony Richardson too. But the Colts do have very good weapons. They have some really good receivers. A guy that in Michael Pittman, but two very underrated guys in Josh Downs and Alec Pierce. So we are going to need max amount of talent and all hands on deck for this particular matchup. So the first one that I want to show you guys here and bring to your attention is this play. Now, this is, I think, the first play even that they put Chris Abrams-Drain in. You're going to see him. He's at the bottom of the screen, matched up against Jerry Jeudy. All right, go ahead and I'll give you guys a little mark here just so you can see it. So he's right over here. He's man on man against Jerry Jeudy. All right, and I want you guys to notice a little something here. They're not going to give him much help, and just watch this coverage. I thought it was pretty impressive. What you'll be able to see is he gives them inside leverage, right? So even when you see it here, right around this area, I think it was, he does a really good job of saying, I'm eliminating the middle of the field. So he's forcing him to go into the sidelines, and then he basically breaks it outside. Glue coverage. You got to love that. So that's really good. I mean, not anything that you saw from Levi Wallace. So pretty impressive stuff there. Play number 2 here is what happened here? There you go. All right, so where is our boy at? All right, this one, you're going to see him here at the bottom of the screen. He's going to be matched up against, I think it's Elijah Moore here. Not actually 100% sure. Go ahead and find out. And we'll roll this film too, and I want you guys to kind of see a little bit what you think. So, I mean, he seems like he's very sticky. He's very intuitive. Again, play right across the middle. He plays the sideline boundary. He tries to eliminate the interior, and I mean, easy peasy. Let's run that back again. You can see he's just blanketed coverage on him, and he looks very fast and quick as well. And what's really impressive about Chris Abrams-Drain, not just from the film, because I know it's very limited, but he's a shorter guy, but he's got if you look at his measurables and you look at his overall explosiveness ratings, they were really off the charts of what he tested. And he's a little bit shorter, but he's a very stocky, like thick, stronger, really physical type of a player. And it kind of shows up a little bit on the film that we've seen. All right, this is the third one. Now, this one ended up actually being a completion, and I think it's more of a really great play by Elijah Moore more than anything. But again, you can see he's forcing the defender to play the sidelines. I think his reaction was really pretty decent, and he forced Jameis to put a good throw on him, and he also forced Elijah Moore to make a really good catch. So go ahead and watch him here, and just for the audience that's not watching, he's down here in the bottom of the screen now. The new the new Justin Simmons. So let's go ahead and roll it. And so what you'll see here, a little bit more press coverage. Now he plays the inside a little bit more. They use the outside route, and you know what? That's one of those situations where he's forcing them to play the sidelines. He's saying, if I'm going to get beat, I'm not going to get beat in the middle. He ends up getting beat on the outside there, and it's fine. You'll take that, right? You'll take that, especially at that time of the game. That was when we were up 2. It was a really big completion ultimately, but it's better to have something like that happen rather than just get absolutely torched over the top and really stress out the rest of the team. And then the final play that I wanted to show you guys is this one. Now, this one is the big interception, right? This is the amazing play that you'll see by Jaquan McMillan. Man, he's always been one of my favorite players. But what I want you guys to notice is now you got Chris Abrams-Drain actually all the way on the outside here. This is Jaquan. He's going to be the one that ultimately makes the interception. But just in case he doesn't, you got him lined up one-on-one, not really any safety help, and they're running a go route. And just watch him blanket the receiver here. So, ball snapped, and he's just riding one-on-one with him. No problems at all. But let's just run it back one more time just to watch Jaquan, because what a play this was. And watch how here he just breaks on the football. I mean, this ball is thrown and he starts running. He's about 3 yards behind the receiver. I mean, it is damn impressive. And jumps the route, makes an unbelievable play. Pick 6 house call. I gotta love it, man. There was so much in this game that I was just unbelievably fired up. It was so great. So awesome to watch. But I know it's limited film, guys, but I want to talk a little bit about these young players, because look at this team, right? This team, this is exactly what they have been. They've been a team that has a bunch of young guys that have given opportunities to play, whether it be because of injury or poor performance, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but it's happened also on the defensive. And these guys have stepped up and they've gotten better as they've gotten more reps. The takeaways that I got from that game was I was actually really frustrated that he didn't get more opportunities earlier on in the game. But when he did, I felt like he actually played really well, and I really wish I would have seen him get more opportunities throughout. I think it would have made the game a lot less stressful, and I think the defense overall would have probably performed better. Another really interesting key note, like a side note that I wanted to just discuss and bring to you guys' attention that I've been looking at, because I've always been in the part of the fan base that actually really believes in Damari Mathis through the bad and the good. I've seen a lot of really good things. So I'm not just going to sit there and say, oh, this dude's awful or he's terrible because he's made a lot of bad plays, because he's a very young, very raw player. We knew that when we drafted him out of Pitt. But I've also seen a lot of resilience from the kid. And I was really surprised, why haven't they been playing him a lot this year? And one thing I noticed, I went back and watched every single snap that he's played this year, which isn't really a lot. So not even really tooting my own horn. But he 90% of the snaps that he had played this year, they lined him up one-on-one with a tight end, regardless of the team that they played on. It was always against a tight end. And I thought that was really interesting because it's almost kind of random. Like, it wasn't because we had necessarily injuries at corner or at safety. He just came in and was covering tight ends one-on-one. Like, he covered Njoku a couple times versus the Saints in the Carolina game. He covered Tommy Tremble a couple different times. That was it. And then they took him off. There was another game as well. I can't think of it offhand, but they had him lined up against the